Should godly men see light through every dark situation? Or should they see some situations as inevitably destructive? There's no black and white answer to this, but it depends on one thing. And I hope by the end of this short video, you'll know exactly when you should be optimistic, no matter the situation, and situations where you should accept that nothing good will come out of it. Now let's start by looking at the case for times where you should be confident that ultimate good will result out of even the darkest moments. Romans 8 verse 28 tells us that, "We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose." Usually optimists will cling on to the first section and say, see, God works all things for our good. But they ignore the second section, which I believe provides the condition, which is for those who love God and who walk according to his purpose. My friends, nothing should give you confidence in any situation than knowing you're walking in God's love and purpose. Jesus said, "Those who love him keep his commands. He knows his sheep, and his sheep listen to his voice, and they follow him." If you're walking in God's purpose and will, then you should be confident enough that no matter your circumstance, God will turn it for your good. As long as he's the one guiding you, then no matter how dark things are, he'll get you through to the light. David knew this, and he perfectly said in Psalm 23 that, "Even though I walk through the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." He knew that it didn't matter what path he was going through as long as God was guiding him and walking beside him. Brothers, we can take the same confidence and stay optimistic, knowing that no matter how dark things seem around us, God is with us because we're walking in his love and purpose. Now, the opposite is also true. We could turn our key verse and say, "All things will not work for good for those who do not love God and do not walk according to his purpose." If you're living your life outside of God's love and purpose and will, then you should rightfully be pessimistic to some degree. Why? Because we cannot walk outside of God's good purpose and will and expect to receive the blessings of his will. The blessings of God are rooted upon a pathway that he has chosen for all of us. Walk through that pathway and you shall reap the blessings of God for your life. Walk the opposite way and you shall miss the blessings. If you chose to go into a relationship that clearly was not God's will and things get rough along the way, don't expect God to all of a sudden change that relationship for your good. The best you could do is leave. When we walk according to our own will, we reap the consequences of our choices and plans. But when we walk according to God's will, we reap the consequences of his choices and plans for our lives. And Jeremiah tells us that the plans of God are meant for our ultimate good, not to harm us. So here's the hard truth. If you walk according to God's will and purpose, then fear not what happens along your way, because God will work all of it for your good. But if you walk according to your own will and purpose, then you have no absolute certainty that things will always work for your good. Sometimes they will, and sometimes they won't. But with God, there's an absolute certainty that 10 out of 10 times, things will work for your good. You may not see it, but it'll be ultimately for your good. So, brothers, my deepest encouragement is for all of us to seek to walk according to God's will and purpose for us. With that, we can be total optimists, knowing that come what may, we have something, or rather, someone, unshakable. With that, I'll see you next time, brothers. Until then, God bless.